Nashville, Tennessee, now fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, a super middleweight champion of the world, Sweet Hands, Caleb Plant. Fighting out of the blue corner from Pensacola, Florida, here is a middleweight, a super middleweight, a light heavyweight, and a heavyweight champion of the world, Roy Jones Jr.
All the talking has been done. It's time to start doing the walking.
Words are cheap. It's the action that says it all.
Right.
We'll find out when the first bell goes.
Thousands of fans here in attendance tonight, but when the bell rings, there will only be two that we're talking about. What a fight we expect this one to be. Both of these athletes primed and ready. He blocks the jab. He blocks the jab. That counter punch caught him clean. Punch, counter punch. What a pleasure to be in this unique environment. Every seat has been taken for tonight's match.
You can walk into an arena and be the hero. The pressure, the expectation, the desire from the fans. You can't get away from it. Ignore them. Lock it up. I know it's hard. I can hardly hear you, Todd. You've got to ignore them. Get on with your job.
Nice counter shot. So far as we've reached the halfway point.
Skill for skill, tap for tap, just like a match made in heaven.
Nice punch. No rest for the weary. They exchange punches. They need to be careful they don't punch themselves out here. Scoring hook. Despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one. Let's talk about Plant in that last round. What would you tell this guy? He's got to do something different.
The bell, sometimes it can be the sweetest sound.
All right. Go back out. Right work.
On to the second round. That corner has got to find a way to get some momentum behind their fighter.
That was a tough last round. Now you've got to make sure he doesn't put it on you, and that's what he's going to try and do. So tie him up, hold him, lean on him. Don't get drawn into a fight. Not yet. Not until your senses have come back.
To be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. Sometimes when you're fighting a counter fighter, the rounds can get a little boring. You get trigger shy because you know if you throw a punch, one is coming right back at you.
Counter punch is my favorite kind of fighter. A good counter puncher, they're the people that make the history of our sport.
Combination would have been good had it not been blocked. We're at the halfway point. Hold it right there. Caleb Plant just got clipped. I don't believe what we're seeing here.
Got caught sleeping on the job. What do? You step back. Steady yourself.
Whoa, Johnny! Roy Jones Jr. in trouble. We almost saw a knockout a second ago, and now they're going toe-to-toe.
Now they've got to wake up. They've got to get on the back foot, clear the head a little bit, then jump back into it again. It's all about the hustle. Get back on it.
You know the scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one. last round. Well, he is glad to have heard that bell.
Wow, it's like two different leagues.
The boxing, be smart, get your shot. Nice round, good round.
And there's the bell for round 3. So not the best round, but let's see if they can turn it around here.
They've had 1 minute to recover. Now they've got to bluff it. They've got to bluff it. They've got to come out now and style it out. Get on the back foot, jab, rest on the jab. Be smart and pop until your legs come back. Then put the pressure on.
They exchange punches. That counter punch caught him clean. Is he going to punch himself out, though? Punch, counter punch. Right when you think the pace will slow down, it picks up. Catch and shoot. Good fight so far. Both of these fighters have had their moments.
A very close match. It shows the skill, the discipline, the respect both fighters have for each other, because no one dares do anything out of turn.
They both want a highlight reel knockout. Caleb Plant is hurt.
He's dazed. Where shall he look? What should he do? Should he run? Should he try and hold on?
Good job trying to... So he will take a knee here and get a nice reprieve from the action.
Best thing the fighter did. Otherwise, you know what? Pride's going to get you knocked out.
This round's still up for grabs with just 10 seconds to go. In that last round. And a round that seemed like eternity for them finally comes to a close.
Every second, every minute of this fight is important. Every second, every minute of this round is important. You cannot afford to lose it.
It was a god-awful round, I tell you.
Back at it in round 4. Well, they got battered last round. How do they turn their fortunes around?
This is one of those situations. You've just been hurt. You've got to get out there again. Be smart. Be sharp. Don't be a fool. Don't get suckered in. Make him fight your fight. Hold him, tie him up, just until your head clears again and your legs come back again. Because if you don't, he's going to pop you off.
Needs to put some combination work together. One punch is good, 2 punches better. Who's willing to go where the other fighter won't? Tried to score with a jab. Very competitive round here so far.
Perfectly matched.
I gotta stop you here, Johnny, as we pick up the heat. Plant is in some serious trouble here. Didn't wait too long to get back and get engaged.
It's been a tough round so far. It's been a tough round. What do they do? What do they tell him when he goes back to the corner? How are they going to get through this?
Trying to answer back. Blocks the jab. A very competitive round with 10 seconds left. Let's talk about Plant in that last round. Well, this is the time that the trainer needs to come in and say something special. This fighter needs to turn the tables in this next round.
Needs a knockout without a doubt. Needs to go out there and think, right, you know what? Next round, you're getting it. You're going to get it. Kitchen sink.
Put him back in his place. Eat smart.
There's the bell to start round 5. Off their stools and ready to go. Let's hope this round is more competitive.
Now he knows he's been hurt. He's going to come out and put the pressure on. He's going to throw the kitchen sink at you. You've got to be ready for that. Don't fight fire with fire. Hold him off. Be smart because he's going to try and put you under pressure. He knows your legs have gone. He knows your head's not cleared. Be sharp.
There's no doubt that this fighter's power can change the fight around in an instant. You can't afford to make one single minor mistake.
It's the one who draws first blood, Tom. That's what you've got to look at. If you're hit and you know you're in there with a banger, you've got to be on it and you've got to be confident.
A left hook. Big hook thrown, but it doesn't connect. I can't believe we're only halfway through the round.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
Beautiful counter shot. In the early rounds of a fight, you'll see two boxers feel each other out, test each other's power, and I think this boxer has decided I can walk through anything that lands.
Look back in the history books, some of the best fighters in the world were the middleweights. Yes, the glamour division is the heavyweights, we know. But I'm telling you now, you look right there, these guys are on it. Fast, shut
Down goes Caleb Plant.
I've seen many shots like that. A simple short shot. Put the fighter down.
2, 3, 4. Run to me.
Let's talk about Plant in that last round. You've got to wonder how big of a factor that knockdown's going to be we just saw.
You're being put down. You've got to think right. Survive and then give it back the next round.
Good work. That's it. Now breathe. Just
This is the beginning of round 6. He couldn't finish him off in the last round. Let's see what this has in store for us.
Todd, listen to me. If I knock somebody down like that round, you know this round coming out? He's getting everything, full barrel because I know his legs are gone. So this, you watch what's going to happen. If he doesn't, I'll be very, very surprised.
Catch and shoot. Nice job by him to block that jab. Punch. Misses with that uppercut. Left uppercut doesn't score. How nervous would you get when you know you're facing a big puncher like this that can seriously hurt you?
I've seen certain fighters that can depend on just their power alone. Forget tactics. They know the second they touch you, it's done. That's where the confidence comes from.
He's putting the pedal to the metal, but has to be careful that he doesn't run out of gas. Nice counter shot. Stamina is off the charts. Big hook thrown, but it doesn't connect. Very close round with 10 seconds to go. Let's talk about Plant in that last round. At this point, you got to believe he can't win on the scorecards, going to need a knockout.
You know, I've been in fights like that. When you're thinking, come on, Barry, ring away. You walk back to the corner like you've just seen the sun.
and off and win the round on your jab. And breathe when you're stepping about, all right? Start sticking a few body shots in there. Vary it up a little bit so he can't figure his fight, do you? Come on. You let them back in. You're better than that, kid. Just go back out there and get...
Here comes round 7. So the fight will continue. How do they turn things around?
They've had 1 minute to recover. Now they've got to bluff it. They've got to bluff it. They've got to come out now and style it out. Get on the back foot, jab, rest on the jab. Be smart and pop until your legs come back. Then put the pressure on.
Beautiful counter shot. What do you think of this fight so far, Johnny?
This is when you get in the ring feeling like you're King Kong, because you know you've got a chin that is not going to get dented.
You can see the heavy's breathing, but that's not slowing him down. Those counter punches have to hurt. Nice job to block that uppercut. We hear that old phrase, second win. You've got to find it somehow.
Middleweight always gives us a class. If you've got 2 class middleweight fighters, you're in for action.
I gotta stop you here, Johnny, as we pick up the heat. Caleb Plant just got clipped. And it appears they weathered the storm. How, I'm not sure.
Bean Days now needs to steady the pace. Get the pace back to normal.
He parries the right jab away. He threw a punch and just got countered. This round could go either way. 10 seconds to go. Let's talk about Plant in that last round. Well, we're entering desperation mode here. Gonna need a knockout.
The bell, sometimes it can be the sweetest sound.
There you go, back out that. Swift time after you like.
And there's the bell for round 8. It has been all one-way traffic. How do they turn this around?
This is one of those situations. You've just been hurt. You've got to get out there again. Be smart. Be sharp. Don't be a fool. Don't get suckered in. Make him fight your fight. Hold him. Tie him up just until your head clears again and your legs come back again. Because if you don't, he's going to pop you off.
You'd like to see more jabs. The old adage is, no matter how much speed you've got, timing beats speed.
So you're getting in there with someone that's so fast, you're prepared to take a licking because you've got to get some before you get in close.
That counter punch caught him clean. They need to be careful they don't punch themselves out here. Big shots from both these fighters. Got to be careful, though.
Perfectly matched. Skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them. More than happy.
Good counter punch. So close with that uppercut. He needs to be careful not to punch himself out. Deciding to let it all hang out here in this round. You know the scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one. Some might have thought it was a little bit closer, but in the end, the referees are in a unanimous agreement.
What a whitewash. You know, that's skills, that's class, that's levels. One is up there, one is down there, but you know what? The loser is going to have to learn a big, big, hard lesson. I totally agree.